everybody? We are back. Hopefully, you have seen our Royal Rumble predictions here on the Shadow Nose Network. This is the Top Wrestling Crew back for the first time in a long time, so it was great to watch the pay-per-view. If you haven't seen the video previously, we did some predictions ahead of time. Some of them worked out, some of them they didn't. First off, we can talk a little bit about what happened at the Royal Rumble. I think overall, recapping of the predictions, Reigns keeps the title, a clean pin over AJ Styles. Cody's going to WrestleMania as a second-time Royal Rumble winner. The women's Royal Rumble, Bayley surprisingly wins, which we didn't predict whatsoever. Logan Paul keeps the title as we predicted. So I think in a nutshell, not a lot of surprises and not a lot of surprises in general, but thoughts on Royal Rumble 2024.
All right, ready for this?
Good.
I think our pre-show was more entertaining than the Royal Rumble tonight. All right, I got to tell you guys this first and foremost. Let me just say this. The women's Royal Rumble match, as Shadow said, sets the tone. The first match sets the tone, right, for the Royal Rumble. What do you guys think? Iceman, you said the match went about an hour and 20, hour and 25 minutes?
An hour and 30 minutes from the beginning of the show to the end, declaring the winner. So
of that.
So about 90 minutes total.
Okay. So that sets the tone, right, for the night. I'm going to say this. Jordynne Grace, the TNA Knockouts champion, and Jade Cargill were the highlights of the Women's Royal Rumble. That was it. Now, I'm going to say one thing also, too, and I'm going to pass over to Shadow. The crowd, the fans that were in attendance on TV, I don't know how it was in person. I don't know, how it was for the fans that were there in the stadium, but on TV, it came across as the fans were just completely disengaged.
Yeah.
They were, no matter what was happening, they were quiet for the most part. There was no interaction. There was nothing exciting about it. I'm watching this going, man. And then they had commercials. They had like a ton of commercials.
Yeah, we got to get to that too.
Anyways, Shadow, I'm going to turn it over to you, man. It's just not what I expected.
Look, I can just say this wholeheartedly that it was an anticlimactic pay-per-view. Yeah. There was the highlights of, Jade Cargill. Fantastic to see her. Oh, the crowd loved it. Everyone was excited to see her. She was great. Yeah, the Knockouts champion TNA girl, she looks impressive. Okay, they're bringing in TNA people. That's fantastic. That's great. Let's see what happens after. So she was impressive. Like to see more of her. The rest of the girls, it was literally the locker room, the training girls from WWE training camp, and the NXT females. Was this a highlight to showcase some of these girls? There was no highlights. There were no showcases. There only was Jade Cargill. And yes, Bayley winning the championship or winning the Royal Rumble. But like literally, you could have did this in 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes increments. Like you wasted so much time that the men's Royal Rumble guys were coming out every 20 seconds. Like it made no sense. And then the girls, it was like a minute, 2 minutes go by, and it's like, here comes another. Oh, who's that? I don't know. Oh, yeah, she's TNA. And TNA girl. Oh, okay. Oh, who's that? She's NXT. Oh, who is that? Oh, she's a girl from the audience, from the crowd. They just put a costume on, which the Iceman said. But like overall, the first match opens up the show, sets the tone for the show, and you literally milked and drained every piece of energy out of us. And then on top of that, the highlight was R-Truth. He was the highlight of this entire pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Coming into the women's thing, funny, hilarious. I was laughing. But coming into the men's thing, we were cracking up. Like almost tears coming out of our eyes. R-Truth was the highlight of this entire pay-per-view. That says a lot. Cody Rhodes winning, fantastic. Love it. But CM Punk, look, these guys may disagree with me, especially the Tech Master, but I'm saying right now, this dude has not wrestled a minute on TV since he got back. This dude shows up as number 29 on the damn Rumble, and then this dude is one of the last two. I don't even think he deserved that spot. You should have set up a feud, had somebody eliminate him as soon as he got in, and then set the tone and pace for him for WrestleMania, whatever that's going to be. But like literally, Gunther, awesome. Who else was it?
You had Damian Priest in there.
Damian Priest is cool.
Which is cool.
I think they're not sure, but they're starting to get it that like your future for the WWE is Mysterio. Oh, and it was good to see what's his name come back. El Diablo.
Andrade
Diablo, the devil. Yeah.
I would say
Andrade Flair.
Yeah. One of the things I will say is I agree that Reigns should keep the title. And so that worked out.
Yeah.
I think he did it the right way. Clean finish on AJ. The match was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad.
There was a title match?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. There was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, that wasn't too disappointing. I will say the positive things is you rewarded people that have put a lot of effort into their career and loyalty to Cody, right? Bayley, right? We talked about it.
Yeah.
Bayley, NXT, WWE, left for a bit, came back, but never left to AEW, never left to TNA, like stayed with it.
Yeah.
I think she earned the right to go to WrestleMania, which I thought was great. Logan Paul thing, we talked about it. I know you called it out, Shadow. The too much friction between the styles.
They don't match.
It didn't work well in that match. But I think one thing for sure, we talk about finishing the story with Cody, and it's gearing towards that. Will he keep it? Will Roman keep the title past Hogan Street? If he does, Cody's not finishing the story. If Cody does finish the story, that's great. But a story that's being slowly told is Gunther 2 years in a row coming in super early and finishing in the top 4 of the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Will next year Gunther's story be finally winning the Rumble? That'd be interesting because no question about it, that guy's got it.
Yeah.
And in every Rumble, he's got it. The last thing I'll say, talk about anticlimactic. You can't finish a Rumble with a 10-minute singles match.
Right.
It died out. People were just, it was flat.
Yeah.
Partly because CM Punk can't go, but it was just, it kind of, people were waiting. Is there going to be a run-in? Is this really going to happen? And then over the top rope, that spot was just like not exciting. Like you just chuck CM Punk over 10 minutes for that, and you just threw it. So overall, if we're doing a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 6 for me for Royal Rumble.
That's generous, bro. I mean, I'm gonna say one thing about Gunther. What I liked about seeing him in the Rumble tonight was no matter who he looked at, he got a response from the fans. Like him and Drew McIntyre, eye to eye, bam, you got a pop from the fans because you're like, dude, this is gonna be a chop fest. This is gonna be something fun to watch, right? You looked at Cody, him and Cody started going at it, boom, you got a reaction. I agree with you, Iceman, that dude, Gunther is it. Gunther is ready to be elevated to the next level. He's already made the Intercontinental title mean more than I think the World Heavyweight Championship means on Raw. Not taking anything away from Seth Rollins, but it's just my opinion. So I agree with you, Iceman. I think Gunther's time, if doesn't come this year, next year, it's definitely got to be.
So what do you rate it out of 10?
I'm gonna say a 5, man.
5.
Honestly.
5.
Yeah.
6, 5.
Yeah.
Shadow.
I don't know. I was thinking on the same level where Chris is at. I give it a 6 only because, like I said, the highlights for me was R-Truth. Yeah. And like this is the guy that like literally stole the show. Yeah. Like literally, like we were cracking up just for his scenes, and that had nothing to do with nothing but just being funny. I will say in the world title match, it was flat. Like you drained the pay-per-view with that women's match that was so long. You could have went 40 minutes, speed up the entrances, in, out, and stuff, because 80% of these girls, you had no idea who they were. Yeah. Who are these people? It's like going into AEW and watching an AEW show, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. You know what? On AEW, I have always, and I'm saying from the day I started until I saw Jade Cargill, I always fast forward to the women's matches because I had no idea who any of these girls, except for 2 of them that's from WWE, and one of them who had a sex tape. What's her name? Paige. So like, and I was like, oh look, Paige is here with the other chick with the short hair. And then it was like, okay, fast forward. Yeah, I don't want to hear anything you had to say. So I didn't want to see anything they had to do because no one impressed me except for the big girl. Someone girl, what's her name? Nia Jax. You thought this was going to be her year.
Right.
You thought maybe she's going to win, but they played it just the same way. They hype her up. They bring her to the Royal Rumble. You think she's going to win. She's finally going to get a Royal Rumble, and then she gets tossed out. Right.
Yeah.
But Jade Cargill, I mean, come on, man. She's a super mega star. 100. So I'm saying that's a highlight. But the championship match and everything else like that, I say, are you going to ask me to rate the matches?
No.
Okay.
Just the paper.
Just the paper.
Yeah, don't ask me to rate the matches because I'm going to tell you it's not going to be good. But yeah, I'm glad Roman is champion. Roman needs to hold on to the title until he beats Hulk Hogan's record. With all the stuff that's coming out with Vince McMahon, trust and believe me, and when I tell you, Hogan's got skeletons in his closet. I know 100%. He's got skeletons in his closet. And the last thing you want to do is just say, Roman Reigns came close to beating Hulk Hogan's record, and that will go down in history as they continue to talk about Roman's career versus he beat his record. Let's go ahead and let Hogan fade out to the sunset. You know, that was probably Hogan's last hurrah on doing that little hosting video thing.
Right.
If anything comes out, bro,
well,
they're gonna treat you like they treat you like they treated Vince. Basically.
Yeah.
And they're trying to erase Vince from the history too of the WWE. And I mean, you really can't erase Vince completely from the history of the WWE.
True.
I mean, you do have AI. You can replace Vince. You can put some other character in there. You never know.
You Shane McMahon's body.
Look, each Royal Rumble in major pay-per-view, typically you have one or two people that are catapulted up as they get noticed. Yeah. And then there's usually one or two that, this does not look good. In my opinion, Jade Cargill obviously was the pay-per-view to elevate her.
Yeah.
And I think Bron Breakker
dude, yes,
has made. I know people have been noticing him, but he has made his mark. So run with it because I think this match, people are like, who? If you really didn't know who he is. On the flip side, CM Punk has a lot of work to do in the ring, not character wise.
He does,
and I think Becky Lynch is at the tail end of the career there because it didn't look really great. So CM get back in the gym, get some stamina going. Becky Lynch, I don't know what's going on there, but Bron Breakker and Jade Cargill could be the future. Let's capitalize on that.
100%. I agree with you, but I wanted to jump on just that one point of the CM Punk thing. Yeah, he definitely needs to get back in the ring. He needs to get in condition. I've already lost my thought. Jade Cargill is great. Bron Breakker is fantastic. Man, I lost my thought, and it was a good one.
Well, maybe when we do another clip. Look,
no, I lost it.
Luger.
Last thoughts before we wrap up on Royal Rumble recap. We gave the ratings, the highs, the lows, more the lows than the highs, kind of flat. Surprising, no big. I mean, Naomi came in number one. That was pretty surprising, but in general, Andrade. That's the thing. Who knows this whole Vince McMahon? If something happened, I know you had mentioned. Hey, would Brock have been there? Sure. What was the whole McAfee spot? Something weird, but they probably had to adjust over the past 72 hours.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts on the Rumble?
Royal Rumble, man, I'm just going to say, last year I look at the Royal Rumble and I look at how different it was last year than it was this year. Like we were talking about this, how excited we were. The fans were into it. It was like, dude, you had Cody and Gunther going at it. Now that if you look at the Royal Rumble last year, that was a singles match between Cody and Gunther that everybody was into, right? It didn't last 10 or 15 minutes, but it was like at least 5 minutes, I think, 5 or 6 minutes. And you were just like, oh my gosh, watch out. And you were just into it. And Cody and Punk, I think this of course was a follow-up to their face-to-face on Raw and all that kind of stuff because they want to build towards that. But it was flat because CM Punk's in-ring conditioning is just not where it should be. And I think that took away a lot, right? It took the steam out and it just took the air out of the room for everybody, right? You're just like, dude, this is CM Punk. I don't remember CM Punk, looking like this in the ring. And it's, it's not his fault. He's just been out of the ring for a long time. So when you put him in the Rumble like this, you're also going to expose. Well, it's been a year, bro, since he wrestled the full match. Since he wrestled the full match, he was injured in AEW. And he came back and then had they made Collision or whatever, and he wrestled a couple matches, and that was it. But But anyways, I'm just saying, guys, like, I'm in agreement with you. Like, CM Punk's got to work on his stuff. Royal Rumble could have been a lot better. And I think the women's match, unfortunately, just went way too long, and that set the pace for the entire show.
Yeah. Dittos. Just straight up, you can make or break a pay-per-view, and you just broke this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
We didn't even want to sit back and listen to the press conference after and let Triple H blah, blah, blah on like what they accomplished tonight. I tell you that you accomplished on boring us tonight. I say that you have an opportunity to build new stars, which you did start, like Iceman said, with the Bron Breakker. Yeah. Jade Cargill. Yeah. And the one that they're kind of sleeping on or going in slow motion with is Mysterio. That's, I think, was my point I was trying to get to. Dominik Mysterio is the future. This guy could be like everything. He is one of the top booed people in your company and industry. And the fans are now even starting to turn him face. Get ready, hurry up, do whatever you got to do, but like move fast with Dominik, or otherwise you're gonna miss the total boat. Just like you did with Daniel Bryan's, just like you did with some of your other wrestlers. Move now with him. Move him and what's her name? Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley. Separate them from the Judgment Day and let them do their own thing. Rhea Ripley should also consider to actually start dating someone that's at her level, because I'll be honest. What's her name? Buddy Matthews. I love him. I think he was great. If he was still in WWE, I say, yeah, go ahead, get married. But right now, girl, you could be in movies. You're about to be a Hall of Famer, and you're here now. And honestly, some of those guys you need to separate yourself from. So Judgment Day and everything else. She's her own star, and Dominik is like right there with her. Mommy.
Yeah.
Anyway. Just ain't all that to say is, glad Roman's still champion. Glad Cody won. Will Cody win at WrestleMania? We don't know. But honestly, The Rock has to be involved whichever way this goes. When we walk into WrestleMania, The Rock has to be fully embedded into the storyline in order for some story to continue, whether Cody finishes his story or his story continues, one way or another.
So let me ask one thing, Shadow. If The Rock interferes one way or another in that match, does that taint or tarnish Cody's championship victory?
No, what it does is sets the plate. It sets the table for whatever you're going to do with Roman versus The Rock. And it also sets the table where Rock could actually come in and cost Cody a title. And then Roman is thinking that The Rock is at his table, and then they get built up for that match. While Cody has lost again, but now where's the story goes? The Rock versus Cody Rhodes? What? SummerSlam, wherever. In between WrestleMania and whatever. It's like, okay, cool. Then he finally gets his dream match. He finally wins the title. That's how. Does it have to be at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
It'd be nice, but it doesn't always. People won big titles. John Cena's won big titles at SummerSlam. On Monday Night Raw. So anyway, running on. This is the road to WrestleMania. We're on it. Bron Breakker, like the Iceman said, Bron Breakker, I want to cuss. Freaking awesome tonight. He stepped up. Omos, you need to just put that dude with Oba in the background as Oba's bodyguard. And then just let King Oba walk in and start to take over stuff.
I like that, dude.
Go ahead and get rid of what's his name? Who's the manager guy? That dude. See, we don't even know his name.
I feel like Bron Breakker took the Brock spot. In this
Rumble. He did.
Boom.
He really did.
Right. And
he
that's
really
that's
did.
the guy that you want. So
yes, he really did.
Guys.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think overall, it wasn't anticipated to be a 5 or a 6, but WrestleMania will keep over the next couple months. Staying in tune. Come to the Shadow Knows Network. We'll have some more videos. The road to WrestleMania, things unfold on Raw and SmackDown and various pay-per-views leading up to it. I think everyone wants to know, will Cody finish the story?
I have one question. You, the fans, I want to know what you guys think of what we did tonight. Do you want to see more of it? What would you like to see us do? The Top Wrestling Crew is here. We just want to know what you want from us. We can do this once a month. We can do it more. We can do it on every pay-per-view or every other pay-per-view. We just want your feedback. So send us messages and hit our thing or whatever and let us know. Shadow's here waiting to see what you guys have to say. The Iceman, the Tech Master. Hey, let us know.
Hey, Shadow Knows Network, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. The Royal Rumble 2024 recap. We'll see you soon. Like, subscribe, comment. We'll see you next time.